Hey guys, welcome to J-Plays. I am Iceman, and welcome to the latest devblog on my work on Nanatama Chronicle of Dungeon Maker, or as I like to call it, Dungeon Maker 3 for the Sony PSP, as that's exactly what this game really is. Okay, so the previous video I released, let me see how long ago that was. That was back on July 11th, so we're now on July 22nd, so it's been 11 days since that point. We now have the 10th floor of the dungeon done. Woohoo! Now, that brings with it, however, both good news and bad news. Bad news is depending on your point of view, because it's also kind of good news at the same time. So, firstly, now we've got the 10th floor done, and that's what I originally thought to be what would be the end of the standard playthrough of the game, and then I was thinking the content after this would be the extended play stuff, or endgame content, where you do the final 10 floors of the dungeon. Well, no. Through my investigations, well, firstly, through getting the 10th floor done, I have discovered no, the game does not end even on a standard playthrough at the 10th floor. In checking out the monster information, I discovered some monsters that go all the way up to level, habitat level 45. So that had me going,
holy crap!
Oh my god, that is insane. So that means this game potentially goes for 45 or even maybe all the way up to 50 floors.
Holy crap.
Oh my god. That's insane. That's more than Dungeon Maker 1 and 2 put together. Because like Dungeon Maker 1, if I remember correctly, that goes to 20, as does the second game. So this one, if this goes to 45 or 50, oh my god. So it has taken me about 7 months, because we're now in July, and I started this in December, late December. So it took me about 7 months just to get the first 10 floors done. So if there's like 45 or potentially 50 floors to go, oh my god, this is gonna take me a very long amount of time. Oh god. My sanity. Oh my god. It's good and bad at the same time. I mean, it's cool that they've gone for the extended play stuff. I mean, that's cool. It may mean that, and we'll find out in the passage of time as I continue this translation. But it does mean we'll find out as I go through and slowly uncover the story and translate more and more of the game. So that's both good news and bad news, depending on your point of view. So if you're looking for a much more fuller Dungeon Maker game, then definitely the devs went all out on this one. But what amazes me though, and shocks me at the same time, if they went to the level of going all out and like packing in that level of content, why the fuck did they not ever release this game in English? That is just boggles my mind. To have gone to this level of effort and not done that is insane. So anyways, it means that potentially this project is definitely, even if I had all the free time in the world and mental capacity to just work on this constantly, even then this is gonna take years. Potentially. We'll see. Then again, if it was 7 months to get 10 done, then another 7 and I'll be up to the 20th. So who knows? I have, so this, now for the current state of play. And I also have some other, what is definitely good news. So, actually, considering what I just told you, I'll get on to the really good bit of information first. So, you would have seen me mention in the last couple of videos about being stuck on one of the quests, which was to find a medicinal plant. Well, medicinal herbs, I've had to translate it as. The actual translation was medicinal plant, but due to size limitations, I had to call it medicinal herb. So I've located where that is in the dungeon. I finally found it. Alright, so I'll have to load a older save to show you. Hopefully I have one that isn't where I already got it. Or I think I did save over it. I hope not. Actually, no. Or do I? Let me just quickly check the quest log. Ah, good. No, I haven't got it. Alright, so what the hints were telling you at was actually accurate. It is actually located in the ruins, and I'll take you straight to where it is. So if you've been playing like me, and well, if you've been playing the demos as I put them up, or even if you just played the last one or two that I released, because I mean, this is a really good starting point if you want to jump in and just play the game, because even if you're playing this constantly all the time, with 10 floors of content, that's like a couple of months worth of gameplay right there. Or at least, if I don't know, if you're playing non-stop, maybe at least a month anyway. But there is much more of an investigation style to this game compared to the other ones, so it's not as straightforward. So anyway, so it is located, the medicinal herb that you need to complete the quest. I'll take you straight to it. Oh, goddamn. Give me a second. We're very close to it right now. Now it's the... Okay, so it is located right here. Now, do you see anything that looks like a pile of leaves on the screen? If you said bottom left-hand corner, over here, you would be absolutely correct. It took me a mountain of time searching the ruins to find it. I had to go through, like, I had to spend like at least half an hour just going around every nook and cranny to find it. So here it is. That is the medicinal herb. So that bit has finally been done. I finally found it, and I got that part translated. So once you have that, you take it back to town. I'll load a later save from where I was currently translating up to. So that then unlocks a conversation with Vivi for completing that quest. It does also unlock the medium potion, or medium health potion. But in the other games they just said M potion. So I did the same in this. So MPT, M potion, medium potion. So that now that I've shown you, you can do that too, and you'll be able to unlock that and have access to it in the chemist, I've called it the chemist, whereas really it's probably like apothecary or whatever, store. Now, after some time, she gives you a new quest. This is where I'm up to at the moment. She gives you a quest to locate the next one, which is get nourishing herbs. Now, I've scanned, even with knowing what the pile looks like now, I have scanned every last speck of the ruins that I have access to, or at least that I could think of to check, and couldn't find it anywhere. So it looks like, you know, at least now I know what to look for. But it looks like it's going to be in one of the later levels. And once you get to level 10 and after, you start getting quests that are of the next rank level, which is rank B, as you can see there. previously things were always rank C. But with floor number 10, you do start to gain access to... I'm going to put the volume down a little bit. You do start to gain access to of higher quality quests ones to complete. So I had another one... Where are you? Here. Silver Wolves. So that's a quest that you get on the 10th floor. Very easy one to complete, by the way. So that's rank B, and I think that's the only other one. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so that's where that one stands. Now let's take you through... So now that's the real best bit of info that there is. I am so glad to have finally figured that one out on my own. If you download the latest demo, there's going to be some little enhancements to the FAQ that I've put together, because I think I spent a day or two planting the stone treasure rooms on... This is when I was trying to find the medicinal herb. I thought maybe it'll be inside the chests for the levels. So for all of the levels that I've currently translated up to, I spent like a couple of hours, actually quite a lot of hours, just checking what all the drops were from the treasure rooms that are on that floor. So if you check the FAQ, you'll see a new text section on, I think it's on treasure loot or something like that, and you can find the loot tables for all of the first 10 levels of the game of what drops from the chests. I spent quite a while on that, and along the way translated a couple of extra items that only come from those rooms, or at least only come from those rooms as of that point in time. Maybe you get access to some of those items later, but I haven't found them yet from anything. Now, that's probably about the best thing. Alright, the rest I'll take you through the usual notes of what's been translated up since the last demo. So the last demo did up to day number 70. I've now done from day number 71 all the way up to 74. Alright, so day number 71. The main thing that was translated was a new conversation with Rose that happened in the ruins. Oh, that's right, because from the mystery dungeon floor number 10, you get a new item for her, which is the chain whip. So if we go over to Rose, that's this one here. So it's like a new form for her, so she can look, gives it more of like a grey look. And it bumps up her attack stats and defense and stuff. So it's a worthy item to get. That was that. Then we had a couple of new ones. I finally got blue Alrons or Alrions to appear in the dungeon. So I've translated firstly the item that drops from them, which is the blue Alron leaves. That is this one here. Then the next was Centaur Hat. And by the way, some of these I may, because if they're related to the chest, when I did win all the chest stuff, then there might be a couple where I didn't, what do you call it? Well, it's stuff that, I didn't keep on the loot table of the character that I've got at the moment. Anyway, yeah, so the next was Centaur Hat. We'll see if we have that in here. Centaur Hat, that's this one. Chain Whip, I just showed you. The next one was Giant Moth Wings, which is a root material. That drops from the Giant Moth on the... I want to say 6th or 7th floor, I think. Let's see where it is. There's Giant Moth Wings. Probably did GM.W or something like that. Oh no, this one. Giant... Oh no. No. Unless I misspelled it. GGG. It's in there somewhere anyway. If I can't find it, I'll move on. Let's see. See, that's it. I think that's giant worm thing. I think. Anyway, it's in there somewhere. Other than that, that was it for the items for that trip to the dungeon. Returning back to town, 2 conversations with Elena were translated. 2 with Frederick and 1 with Sophia. Oh, this is when we got the quest for the Silver Wolves, which is, they call it, the quest is actually called Wolf Head. Because, it's like head of the wolf pack. That's the way the game chooses to call it. So, you know, that is, and I think I showed you that quest a minute ago. That is Wolfhead, this one. See, Wolf, Silver Wolf Pack. Habitat level 10, water area under Moon's influence. So, what you need to do for that quest is you need to place beast layers on the 10th floor with moon producing element nearby to them. That's a very easy one to complete. I completed that no problem. Like basically once I had a couple of beast layers, and sorry, I got a bit of a cold at the moment. Yeah, so once I had some beast layers and placed some moon emitting rooms, then they showed up very quickly. So that should be a very easy quest to complete, or at least it was for me when I was testing it. Then I got some extra. Oh, there was an additional meal that was unlocked. That is the refreshing stew. So let me see, that's like... Yeah, I'll have my mouse right over it. Or cursor. So that is this one here, ref.stew. So pretty damn... Well, I don't know, I was going to say pretty damn good. But it's not too bad. HP plus 6, MP plus 2, Strength, Soul, Int, and Wisdom plus 1. It's okay. Not too bad. And then there was a whole bunch of items that were translated. Ah yeah, so this is when I was doing the chest testing. So some I'll be able to show you. If there's any where it doesn't come up in the list that I can find, then that means it's something that was from the chests that was like unique to that floor. There was like about 2 or 3 that I found that were specific. The first is like on the fifth floor, where you get like the ruby ring. I know that one was one of them. I thought it was sapphire ring. And there was some other stuff, cane and something else. Anyway, so the items that I got. Let's jump back into gear file. Okay, so apple staff was the first one. Apple staff, that drops from the Human Alliance enemy. That is... Okay, I don't have it in this list. But I can tell you I've translated. Breastplate was the next one. That drops from Centaurs. Pretty sure I got that one in here. I remember seeking that out. Breastplate. Yep, that's this one. Pretty damn good chest piece, that is. But if you have been keeping up with the material stuff, like smithing materials, you'll have a better one that you can make, but is a good interim, like, chest armor piece to have. But if you've got like even an iron chest piece or something like that, then that's even better than that. Let me see. So breastplate. Cane was the next one. That was definitely from a chest. Marble sword is the next one. That one drops from the, if I remember correctly, stone gargoyles or something like that. It drops from a gargoyle anyway. No, I don't have it here. Okay. I can tell you it's been translated. Ruby Ring. This one probably won't be in the list, but we'll see. No. Again, that was a chest one, I think. Sapphire Ring was the next one. No. That one's not there either. Next one was White Robe. Okay, that's this one. That one drops from the Goblin Shamans. I can't believe I remember this stuff, considering how many days I was playing. You know, how many within 11 days. So shows I've been playing the game too much. Anyway, and the last one for that day was Wisdom Ring. It's probably like WIS.R or something. There we go, Wisdom Ring. This one. It's okay. It gives you like +4 to wisdom. It's okay. But if you're doing some of the better rest stuff, then you'll be getting like, if you're anything like my character, then you got a pretty damn good magic defense by now. I've been trying to get my character's MP up to about 400 MP. Just about there. And because of that, the best meal that gives you MP with a stat boost is probably this one. So you get like +2 to wisdom every single time you do it. So it doesn't sound like much, but do that over the long passage of time, and then you're actually getting some decent magic resistance, which definitely helps against like elementals and certain enemy types. Alright, so that's day number 71 done. On to day number 72. On day 72 in the morning, there was a conversation with Frederick, which I assume was... that was probably for the Beast Lair. Yep, yeah, it was. Unlocking the Beast Lair room, so that is... Now, if you've played any of the previous Dungeon Maker games, Beast Lairs should be very familiar to you. Those were in the previous games. There's a lot that were already in the other games that were unlocked. I mean, like, in for floor number 10. That is... Where's Beast Lair? There we go, Beast Lair. So that's the Beast Lair. Okay, and that was it. Then in the dungeon, the only new thing that I translated items-wise was an item called Carnelian Bracelet. Can't remember what dropped that thing. I think it was actually it was a flame slime. I think that's what it was. And that one would be, if I have it, there you go, Carnelian Bracelet, that one. Unfortunately, this was one of those ones where there was very severe like text limitations, so we couldn't even get a full stop in there. But hey, well, I was able to get the full wording of what it's called at least. And then on the evening of that day, a conversation with Elena and Vivi was translated, and this is on this particular game day was where I finally found the medicinal herb. So the conversation with Vivi was in relation to, you know, like the quest completion of the medicinal herb quest. I'm not sure what the one with Elena was about, but and the only other thing that was on this day, monster research into an enemy called the Wolvan Skeleton was completed. Wolvan Skeleton. Oh yeah, that's in the mystery dungeon. So that, probably a beast, I'm guessing. Yep, that's this one. So if you do the 10th floor mystery dungeon, chances are you may run into one of these. That's an easy way to get that. Add that to your research, adding towards the total, you know, with the permit grades and stuff. always good to try to get as many monsters as you can. That's where the investigation side comes into this game. That's something that's really cool. That's like something that wasn't in the other ones. There's a lot more like having to put clues together to work out stuff. I mean, there was probably a little bit of that in the other ones, but it's much more in this, and there's much more about elemental things and day of the week having an effect on various factors, and that wasn't in the other ones. And I do appreciate that in this. There's things in this I don't like, as I've said before. I don't like that there's no randomized dungeons anymore, and there's no hero enemies anymore. That was in number 2. They added that in, and you don't have a choice of playable characters either. You only can play as yourself, and there's no like apprentice that you're teaching. I really like that in the second game. Anyway, so that was day 72. For day 73. The main thing that okay, this is where now I remember. Okay, so and this will tie into something interesting too. It's where the game devs mucked up a bit, I think, and it's something that if I ever learn how to change pointers and stuff like that, if you know anything about programming, pointers is a big thing. Like pointers point to points in memory. It'll go, it tells the code like where to jump to get access to like information that it's going to use. Like you see the text that's all on the screen right now, that's like pointers that are saying take the information from this point in memory and display it. So yeah, so on day 73 I got a letter. The 7th letter was translated, and that corresponded to the title of Lord. Where's that? Lord? It should be Lord. L-O-R-D. Okay, now you see how it says get. It doesn't say Lord, it says get. Now, the reason for that, if you look on the data menu, so I needed to give this a name. It only had 3 letters available to it, and so I was like, get your load, get your saved game that you want to reload, because you can't say load in 3 letters. So I said get. Now the game points for both the title of Lord and of that point in the menu for getting a save game from the exact same point in memory. So if I or if someone else comes along later on and you've watched this video, know that you're going to need to change the pointer for the Lord title, and also the ring as well. So there's a ring that you get. Let's go into gear file, because it also corresponds to the item, the ring reward that you get for that. So over in here in rings, you'll see one that says get, because it's tying into the same point in memory. So sure, I could fix that here and give it proper, like, I could say law or LOR or something like that. But then if I change that, it also changes the point in the menu to what it says. So I've just had to go, well, what's the lesser of 2 evils? It's like, well, just have the ring say get. It's not really great, but you're going to be using the menu much more than you're probably using the item. Anyway, so yeah, so that was the main negative. But the ring itself, anyway, its text was translated for the Lord ring. Also the title text for getting that title of Lord here is all translated as well. So if you in your playthrough, if you happen to beat 20,000 monsters, you'll get this same thing. No pun intended. The only other thing that was translated was back at VV Store, and that was what I showed you before. That was for the medium health potion. Okay, that's in the morning part. In the dungeon, there was mainly items that was translated. So, and these all related to silver wolves. So the first thing is a silver wolf fang. So that is a root material. That would be like SWF. Yep, right there. Then the next, just having a look through. Okay, silver wolf fur was the next one. That's an armor material. That'd be SW dot F again, probably. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Silver wolf fur, FR. Okay, so that's this one. Then silver wolf throat meat. So that was a cooking ingredient. So where are we? SWMT. So yeah, the full translation of what the letters were. So I only had 5 letters available. But the full translation was what that actually is silver wolf throat meat. How do you say that in 5 letters? Other than THROA. No, even throat doesn't fit. And that would be a good translation anyway. So, yeah, so SW.MT is silver wolf. Well, I put MT as in meat. I could have also done TM, I guess. It's in throat meat. The only other thing was spider silk. Now, on the 10th floor, if you happen to have any storage rooms, you'll get a new type of spider appearing, and big black one. So if you're arachnophobic, I give you that word of warning. I'm arachnophobic in real life, but it's weird. Spiders in video games just don't spook me in the slightest. But ones in real life, I won't go near. Whereas I've heard most people that are arachnophobic can't have issues with them in games too. So, maybe I'm not a full arachnophobic. I don't. Anyway, so the next one was spider silk. Where's that? Spider silk. It'd be SP SK or something like that. Might have been this one. S.SL. That sounds like it. I think it's that one. All right, so we'll say it's that one anyway. So spider silk was translated. That was it for the dungeon. On returning back to town, one conversation with Lena was translated. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 new monster research things were done. So monster research. Now the first one is giant skull. So giant skull is like a big, tall skeleton enemy that you would encounter on the 9th floor. So I had it show up once. That would be, it's probably going to be under humanoid or maybe demi. Because demi is demi-human, by the way. And then human is humanoid. Anyway, so giant, what was it called? Giant skull. There you go, this guy. Now, if you've played Dungeon Maker 2, you would have encountered these. So that's what that is. They drop iron, which is good if you're looking for that kind of material. And they're not that hard to take down. Especially since you've got so many orb characters that you can use in this one. Definitely an easier game, this one, compared to the other ones. Though you do get far more big packs of enemies thrown at you, which didn't happen as much in the other ones. Alright, anyway. So Giant Skull, that's the first one. Ice Armor, which is right nearby, is the next one. And this one ties into some stuff I'll talk about later, because it drops an item called Broken Ice Armor, and once you have that, you can then make ice armor pieces. And I've translated all the different types that you can get from that. I'll show you. Actually, I won't be able to show you because the thing will be underway. So I've currently got a item being made by the blacksmith guy. Anyway, next one was ice slime. So back on the 5th, I think at the 5th or the 6th floor, there's one that you had to have be all ice. So if you happen to place a trash dump on that level, you increase the chance of getting ice slimes appearing. So that's these ones here. So if you're going for more of a complete bestiary, like you know, your whole Bible of all the different types of monsters, then having that is good. Also, be sure to place a couple of the sun rooms as well, because then you'll get the blue Elrians to start appearing. Okay. Oh yeah, and the next one was Silver Wolf. That's under Beasts, I know that. I think it's SW. Yep, that's this one here. So unfortunately, I only had 2 letters to say Silver Wolf, so then SW was all I could give it. So the text for that, as you can see there, is translated. This is one where I had a little bit more space available, so I could make it nice and formatted, looking very nice. Some of them, some of them give you so many letters that it's good to, I mean, it's easy enough to do some basic level formatting to make it look nice. Others, you are limited by so many letters, you've just got to take that sacrifice that it's just going to look a bit funny on screen, but at least it says what it needs to. You know, that's the most important thing above all. Like, you know, giving players the key information they need. Anyway, so with that did day number 73, and then we're on to the final day, number 74. So on day 74, conversation with Sophia was translated. That relates to when I got the quest for the nourishing herbs, which I just showed you before. So after some time, I don't know how long, because of how long it took me to find the medicinal herbs, but after a certain amount of time, you'll get a new quest from VV to find nourishing herbs in the dungeon. So, and then you can go to Sophia to get additional quest hints on that. So both the conversations related to those 2 things is translated, as is the quest itself. Basic quest text, as you see there, get nourishing herbs. So that section here, this relates to the first part you see from getting the quest. And this last part down here is what you get from Sophia when you pay, you know, 100 gil for the quest information. Now we got some interesting stuff. Now when you go through the dungeon, you get a new character that will appear in your party. That is for the character of this character here. So her name's like Aoi. I don't know how you pronounce that word. I think it's Aoi, because it can't be Oi, you know, or Aoi. Oh, could be, I guess. I say Aoi. Anyway, so Aoi, a ninja, female ninja, joined your party. So you initially get access to these 3 skills here. That one there, I've been leveling her up because she started out a lot lower in level than what my other orb characters were. So most of my orb characters, at my point in time playing the game, are about all around about level 43, but she started out at level 17. So I had to run her through the dungeon and just let her kill stuff to get experience, and got her up to 21, but she's got a long way to go. So as I continue to play, I'll level her up more and translate the skills and magic, because she has magic as well, as those ones become available. And I would definitely recommend, if you're only just starting to play this, I do highly recommend leveling up your orb characters, because of the unlockable skills and magic that some of them have can be real game changers. Like, some of them get some really deadly stuff that can just wipe a whole screen of enemies in like one go. And since after they despawn, they start regaining back their MP and HP, that just makes them far more useful than even the Genyu characters that were in Dungeon Maker 2. Anyway, so the first initial conversation that you get relating to her when you first encounter her in the dungeon, which was a very long one, 33 steps, so a very long conversation, that was translated. Then some new items were translated. The first was broken ice armor, so that's what you need to, when you go here. It's not going to let me because I've got a request underway. But once you've got it, there'll be a conversation with Guido that I've also translated. that unlocks about 4 bits of new armor types or new armor pieces, I should say, that were translated. I'll get on to talking about that in a sec. I'm jumping ahead a bit too much. So broken ice armor is the first one. If you want to see it in the actual smithing menu, that's here. Where are we? This one, broken ice armor. Again, space limitations, so I couldn't format it. But that's it there. br.ic is broken ice armor. Next item was knife. So this one was a bit annoying. It literally gave me 1 letter available. 1 letter. You can't do anything with 1 letter. It also added a new category too of weapons types things up the top. So now there's just ones for basic swords. So what Google Translate told me was that the 1 letter there was translated to knife. So I say a sharp knife, and that does not look like a sharp knife to me. That looks like a sharp sword. But anyway, it said it was knife, so I just go with what it says. The only ones where I go against what Google Translate says is like monster ones where there's actual information in the hexadecimal code, like that the devs have left of what the monster names are. So in English. Which does make me think that they were originally planning on releasing this in English originally, but because why else would that be there? But anyway, in those cases, I use what they in English have called them. I don't go what Google Translate does in those instances. I'm like, no, if that's what you say, you're naming it. It's not for me to go and change the name of it. So, you know, I'm just the translator. I'm not the game designer. Not for this game. Anyway, so knife was translated. The next relates to stuff that you get once you get AoE in your party. So there was the key items of Kuno clothes. There's Kuno right there. So that's her special form stuff. And Shinobi Orb. And that's a really cool name for an orb, by the way, Shinobi. If you're a player of video games, of anything as long as I've been playing games, used to be a really awesome game called Shinobi in the arcades, and they got a couple of good Mega Drive games too. Revenge of Shinobi, and I don't know, there was a game on the Master System, Cyber Shinobi and stuff. Totally different types of games to this, but they're awesome games. Very difficult games. But great games. And the arcade version of Shinobi was fantastic. Anyway, now the last parts of it. Okay, so that was as far as going to the dungeon went for the final day. The last thing I had left was a lot of conversations, most of which related to once you get AoE in your party. Lots of really long ones. So the first was a conversation that happened over at at the market with Claire. It's mainly Claire and AoE talking, mainly just talking about clothes. The next one, another long one, was 21 steps, was with Elena, related to AoE, and that for once when you get a new character in your party, you get a quest, or not a quest, but like you get given steps of what to do immediately straight after to take on the very monster that they were searching for. So, to say a bit of spoilers, she's after an enemy called Tengu, which is like a big monster thing, I think. I've heard that name before in some games, Tengu. I think it was in Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, so she's after a monster called Tengu. So first she mentions it to Elena, and then when you go to Sophia, so that's a really long one that's been translated. Then you get a psychic reading, and she says Sophia tells you that you need to get a I've forgotten the word now. It's like Eastern, like you know, like samurai kind of stuff, you know, like ninja kind of rooms. So, and those ones were like, I think in the other games they called them Eastern room or something like that. So that's basically the type of room that you need to get. So it's all conversations related to that. She says that, and then the last step of it is you need to go to Frederick, tell him that you need to get a Eastern type room, and then he'll go and start on it. So what would be happening in game terms is that you would then on the following day get access to that room, but that's all content relating to level 11. So, you know, and I should mention too, all the stuff that's relating to AoE is related to level 11, not 10. But I always like to go a little extra step with these patches now, is that I'll do a little bit of the content of the following floor as well. Firstly, because it gives me an excuse to see what the content is, and I personally find it quite interesting uncovering the story bit by bit as I'm translating it and then getting to discover it. You know, at least you as the gamer playing these, you get it all in one go. Me as the translator, I'm getting it in like little bits and like, oh, that's what that means, you know. Okay, so that's all the days and all the main content done. I'll rest and then I'll show you what the 10th floor is all about, because that's what this patch is all about. Primarily 10. It's got a little bit of 11, but it's mainly about 10. Now, oh, there's one thing I missed. Okay, I'll have to translate that. It's probably about getting the orb for AoE, I'm betting. I'll translate that later. I've got a gut feeling that tells me that's for getting AoE. So whenever you get a new orb, you always get a journal entry about it, and I don't remember translating that, any entries about the orb, so that most likely is what it is. That what you saw, as I said, I'll translate it. That would take me like a couple of minutes. Anyway, so let's go and show you what the 10th floor is all about. So if you download the latest demo after this video when I'm finished, and by the way, this is level 10. I'll get into showing you that in a sec. I mean 11. But I'll show you what the kind of stuff you can expect to encounter on the 10th floor. So here we're now gonna move, and I'll pop the volume up a little bit. We're going to jump into more like, you know, like a let's play kind of thing for like a little bit. So I'll just run around and I'll show you what the floor's like. Yeah, and I'll talk about some of the new enemies on this one. It's funny, I only just now realized that's a gargoyle on that fountain. Anyway. One of the side quests I've not been able to complete it, but you do get it when you start on this level, is to get dust slimes. Is it dust slimes? I think it's dust slimes. But on this floor, you start. Well, you already gained access to kitchens before, but you get some things which are related to kitchens. And you can see AoE at play as well. Now, I can't guarantee that every single last drop from every single enemy has been translated, because some of them are low percentage chance stuff. So, you know, I could do this like 20 times and not have something drop, and then just happens to be when I'm recording that something new will drop. Like, that does happen. And also sometimes what you'll see with these demo releases is that I am still playing through the other floors as well as I'm doing testing. So if I do get any new items that pop up, new enemies, new items, whatever, I'll translate those too as they come about. So if you download this and you're like, oh my god, I played it, and then some stuff appeared that was still in Japanese, it's like, well, it's certain percentage chance stuff, you know. So on this floor, you need to place kitchens with trash. This type of room, trash dumps nearby. There's supposed to be a different type of slime that will appear. That's what it says will happen. I haven't had any appear yet, but maybe you need to get your level above a certain rating. I don't know. So there's a couple of new enemies here and there. Mainly just the usuals, but. And even the new enemies that do appear, if you've played the other games, other than the new spider type, most of them were in the other games. Like Silver Wolves, Human Alliance and other ones, those were all in the other games. I forgot to sell my items before I started playing. I was going to say that type of armor, enchanted armor guy, you know, those were introduced in the previous level. On this level, this the room type I'm in right now. If you've played the other games, you'll be familiar with this type of room. It's a study. It's like a better version than a guest room. So it encourages more intelligent style monsters to appear in them. Okay, here we go. This is one of the new enemy types in this level, and also in Dungeon Maker. So this type of enemy did not exist in the other games. So this is the ice armor enemy. They drop broken ice armor that you need to make the ice armor set. You will also need ice claws as well, which you can find on ice gargoyles. Quite difficult to take down too. As you can see, they pack a real punch. He didn't drop it that time, but they do drop that broken eye stuff. Okay, here we go. Silver Wolves. If you've played the other games, then this enemy type of Silver Wolves should be familiar to you. They are what you need to complete the Wolf Head quest line. Lizards. So if you've played the other games, it's another enemy type that's common. It's those, as soon as you start placing beast layers, you'll get these two here. They're not overly difficult. See, as I said, new enemy, like, you know, item type down there. You do get a, I think it's a quest, a quest or a side quest. You get a side quest to defeat a blue dragon pup. I haven't had those appear yet, but you do get that with this floor as well. So if you're doing the quest stuff, having at least some portion of this floor being all ice is definitely recommended. Definitely helps you with the Silver Wolf quest. Not essential though. Got any skill? I won't have that translated at the moment. I'll do that after the recording. New enemy type. Cat. Actually, I think I've taken on cats earlier on. Local cave pits. Pretty sure I do. Yeah, already got that one translated. Oh. See, as I said, you can unlock some really nice spells and abilities for the orc characters. They just can wipe the floor with stuff very quickly. There you go, there's the broken ice armor. Use Human Alliance so you get one of the new enemies for this level. If you've played the other games, this will be a familiar enemy type. Some of the future can heal themselves as well. This room I'm in now, the library, if you've played the other games in the series, this room should be familiar, but you gain access to that on this one. Libraries, which you need to get the Human Alliance. Studies also get the Human Alliance enemy to appear as well. This one tends to attract intelligent-style monsters. Or so it says. We're just about done. I already showed the ruin section of this floor in the previous video, so I'm not really going to go heavily into it. Alright. One more room left. I'll give you a little sneak preview of what level the 11th floor is about. Okay, so the 11th floor, if you're looking for where the ruin section of it is, it's at the top. It is up here. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a elevator going up to the main ruin, level. The only thing it has, just trying to think. The main thing is AoE. That character that you get from right there. I think there was one chest as well that gives you a new root item. That was the only other thing. Yeah, that was in here. Yeah, so that's about it for the new bits in the dungeon. So, like I've been saying, looks like even though I thought the game was going to be finishing for a standard playthrough after the 10th floor, I would estimate it's probably more likely to be around the 20th. So that really expands things. It means it's going to be a long time before we even get a standard playthrough done. And that's if I'm even right about 20. We'll see what happens in the passage of time as I go through more ones. It does mean that potentially this may go all the way up to like 45 or 50 floors, which is insane. I don't know how they're going to fill it with enough content, like, to be that. But I've checked out to see how many monsters were left that I haven't found in the game yet, and there's an absolute shitload of them. So there's heaps to go. A lot to go. Yeah, so we've got that left to look forward to in the future, I guess. So if you're looking for something that gives you more of that kind of thing like I've been saying, then you'll find that, potentially. in the future. As I said, the extra items that just dropped and the extra skill for the player that I just got, that'd be this one. Oh, that's one of the EX ones. Okay. Oh, it's like return. It's like an enhanced version of an existing skill. Anyway, so those two little bits I'll translate prior to, and I'll do that straight after this recording. And if you download the content, the latest demo, you can play through the 10th and a little bit of the 11th as well. But I do warn that anything after this point in time that I've done won't be in the demo that you do. So I would recommend just play through the 10th and then stop there. Unless you want to be playing the game in Japanese, and that's fine too. Alright, so that does it for this devblog for devblog number, I think this is 27. Yep, 27 for my work on Dungeon Maker 3. When you see my next video, devblog number 28, then looks like we'll probably have floor number 11, and from what I've gathered from what the game's saying, it looks like the 11th floor is mostly going to be like samurai kind of, Eastern kind of rooms, that type of thing. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next devlog, and if you are playing the latest demos as I release them, I hope you enjoy the content that I have translated through. I'm finding that as we're going through each floor, the amount of content that is packed and conversations and items and enemies and everything into each one is getting bigger and bigger. So it takes longer and longer to translate. But yes, so anyways, so that's done for now. I will see you guys in the next devlog anyways. So guys, have a good one.